one thing that I'm like, sometimes I'll even forget it, but things will happen to bring it back to my thoughts. There's always like that kid that was like me. That kid is always kind of out there watching, you know, and every now and then that kid will get a chance to come up to me, and then it's like the light bulb goes off. Like, man, there might be 10,000 people here, but like there's this one person who's like just kind of like stuck. Like, man, I think I want to do that, or I want to do something like that, or and if I get a chance to engage with that person, then I get a chance to let them know that it's not all about music, you know. And I think that's the most practical thing. And again, that's one of those things that somebody shared with me, you know, and totally changed my whole perspective on how I approach it. So that's one way. Like I understand that I do have some impact, even if it is just on one person. Um, Another way, which is really cool and it comes really natural, is like you said, like just being in the hip hop environments, the urban environments. That's who I am. That's what I came from. So it's not tough for me to live in those environments and to engage and to just really just be the salt and light, like the scripture says. So not necessarily having to try to, you know, dig in on somebody right there, because I understand that I have no saving power. You know, my job is to just be a light, and that could be just talking about football, but in the way we talk about football, or you know where that conversation may go from there. When I'm like, man, I love watching football with my wife. You know, like some things will make this person see, man, he might be a little bit different, and it might be just enough to prick their hearts, and God can start to do the work on them. But that really comes natural, and I really love that. You know, like, and that's like my everyday life too. Even off the stage, if I'm in the barbershop, if I go home to visit and I'm around some old friends or whatever, like, you know, my job is to be myself and just let the light that's inside of me just shine, however that comes out, you know. But and understand that God is at work all the time, you know, and that's totally outside of me. I have nothing to do with that, no control over that. But I can carry myself in a, you know, a certain fashion. My conversation can be of a certain fashion. My just life, whether I talk to a person or not, like if they are just observing from the outside, it can be of a certain fashion. And you know, I pray that those things, however God chooses to use that, you know, that they'll be used. And I'm like, I love that. I'm cool with that, you know. So it's my job to just like kind of make sure I'm working on me and doing what I got to do. And if God uses me, chooses to use me, that's the best feeling in the world. It's encouraging to me too. Like when I hear it, like sometimes I'll think I played like the worst ever that day, you know, and somebody will come and say, man, you know, I could I could see that you are like playing from the heart. I can see that you're in worship when you're playing, and it just like breaks me down. Like, man, like that's awesome, because it doesn't matter if I suck or not. Like, it's not. I could be the world's greatest drummer. It doesn't matter, and God could never use me. Or I could suck, like, you know, just be terrible, and God could use me. So it's like, yeah, I'm good with that.